Hey everyone, I'm here with John Deckard, Shaylin with PMZ Real Estate. Thank you for watching the Shay Show. We are going to quickly jump in today. We're going to talk about VA loans. John is an expert. So today we're going to talk about who qualifies and the biggest myths that he hears. Later this week, we're going to circle back. We're going to talk about the benefits to both sellers and buyers and just dig in more to the nuts and bolts. But we're going to jump in right now before it gets too loud. We're outside at a winery today. It's beautiful. So go ahead and jump in. Let's talk about qualifying.
Qualifying. The difference between qualifying and being eligible. And people tend to use those words interchangeably, and they're really just not. So you want to start with who's eligible, and that's step one of a VA loan, is check your eligibility. And then after we find out that you're eligible, then we'll talk about qualified. Qualified is, can you make the mortgage payment? Can you qualify for this loan amount? As opposed to, are you eligible for a VA loan? Right. So.
Okay, and so step one, that to call you, or do they check that eligibility on their own?
They can check it on their own.
Okay.
I find it's a little bit easier if you call me first.
Okay. So step one, call John.
Call John, always. Step one. First thing I'm going to do is get a certificate of eligibility.
Okay.
And you'll hear people call that a COE. In the military, we have to abbreviate everything. So.
All right.
That's the starting point.
All right. That's great. We are going to circle back to more of the nitty-gritty in our next video, but we are going to move today right into the biggest myths, because I know John and I have talked, and some of the stuff you hear just isn't the truth. So we're going to jump right in to the biggest myth. Let's jump into the biggest myths, John. What do you hear that just isn't true?
Oh, there's a ton of stuff that's just not true. Big ones are you can only use your VA loan once. It's simply not the truth. You can use it multiple times.
That's good news.
You can only have one VA loan. That's simply not the truth. You can have several loans at the same time.
So let's stop right there for a second.
Okay.
Does that mean if somebody already has a home and they are wanting to grow their family's wealth and maybe look at an investment property, can they then use the VA loan for that?
No.
Okay.
VA loan is only for your primary property.
Okay.
But let's say that you bought a house outside of Fort Gordon, Georgia.
Okay. And
you like the house, and then you get transferred out here to the West Coast.
Right.
That's a great house. There's a lot of need for rentals there, so you'd like to keep it. Well, as long as you have the eligibility and the capability to qualify, you can keep that house, move out to the West Coast, purchase another house as your primary, and live in it. So in that instance, you'd have two VA loans.
And is there a time frame of how that works, or no?
No.
Okay. That's because I know they move. Our
People
veterans,
move around.
Bless them, they move around a lot. So, okay. What would you think the third biggest myth is?
That you can't qualify for a large loan. We're in California, and people go, oh, well, I'm in the Bay Area, and our loans over here are just too large.
Right.
Well, there's not a maximum VA loan. If you can qualify for a $2 million home loan, I can get you a $2 million VA loan.
And it still benefits you as a VA buyer.
Absolutely.
Okay. And one other myth you want to think of that we probably need to bust?
Credit scores. I hear that one.
So the last myth we're going to talk about is credit. And you said when we were talking before that credit can be as low, I mean, not that it should be, but as low as like a 500 even.
Again, yeah, the VA has no requirement for credit scores. That's all up to a lender. So I hear a lot of veterans that are told, oh, you got to have a 620. Well, that's just not true. You have to find a lender that's comfortable, that's going lower than that.
Okay.
So.
All right. So John has those lenders. If you guys want to do this, if you're interested in how your VA benefits work, I mean, there's no better resource. So at the end of the video, I'm going to post up all the information. Obviously, you can comment below. You can like John's Facebook page. You can follow either of us. But definitely get in touch. Let us know how we can help you. We've got lots of resources and looking forward to doing that. And thank you, obviously, for your service. We want to always throw that in,
Always.
too. It is Veterans Day on the 11th, and we are just building up to that. So we will see you later in the week.